Okay, time once again for weekly devotions from one of the greatest minds in the room. There is one minor little detail. I really don't have one. I don't have a devotional. It's not that I haven't been doing the life journal reading, because I have, but just let me show you what I've come up with for the last couple of days. There it is, right there. And I think that someone needs to know that. Not I'm calling myself out on the carpet, but not every time you pick the Bible up, not every time you seek to read it, are you going to come back with some life-changing, oh my gosh moment. And there are even seasons, hopefully very, very short ones, in all of our lives where it just seems like, yeah, okay, I've read that before. The difficulty is that, again, some people are going to be sitting back and sucking all of the air out of the room and thinking, Pastor Bill has lost his faith. Well, no, I haven't. I've been at this 30 years. I've gone through this before, sometimes for extended periods of time, sometimes long enough where I kind of wonder myself if I haven't. But I keep doing what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Frankly, I'm excited about what we're doing on Sunday mornings. It's not a question of some sin in my life, because again, yeah, I've asked God about that. It's not because I'm running out of material. Frankly, I haven't had an original thought in my entire life. It's just the way it is sometimes, and some of us need to hear that, because it's okay. It's okay if every time you pick up the Bible you don't get something. There are going to be these seasons. I mean, come on, don't be an over spiritual gas bag. I mean, if you've been at this for a little while and you've gone through this, you know perfectly well what I'm talking about. And if you've never gone through this before in your life, well, God bless you. Maybe you ought to be doing this week after week after week. That's the funny thing. I got called out on the carpet one time. I went through a season where I write the church bulletin letter every week for the past 14, almost 15 years, 14 and a half anyway. Every week, a letter. You kind of start running out of stuff to say. So I rely on some of the people who inspire me. Tozer being one of the main ones. And there was a time where I went a few weeks where I was just putting Tozer into the bulletin letter, and somebody actually questioned me on it. And it's like, yeah, if anybody else wants to go ahead and start writing the bulletin letter, anybody else wants to start doing a weekly devotional based on what we read, hey, you are free. Come on down. I'll show you how to use the stuff. I'll upload the material. Not a problem. But it's not like that. I just have gotten really nothing out of what's going on. And the other thing about it, really saying I've gotten nothing out of it, that isn't exactly true either. What did you have for dinner last week on Wednesday? Do you remember? Did it do you any good? Yeah, it did. It nourished your body. And so even though, like I said, I can't come up with some big, huge revelation that God has given me this week as I've been reading through the life journal entries, it doesn't mean it hasn't done me good. Doesn't mean it won't do me good. I know it will. There'll come a moment. It happens a lot. There'll come a moment in your life. You're talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, a scripture in one of those quote obscure, lifeless sort of Bible readings that you've been doing recently, where it hasn't made any impression on you, it just jumps out at you, and it's like, hey, let me share this with you, and let me see what that does in your life. And so again, I'm not particularly proud of this. I think I would have rather kind of just allowed this whole devotional thing to go by the wayside this week and watch and see if anybody noticed. But some of you need to know that this sort of thing happens, and it happens to us all, and that's okay. As I said, I continue to do the reading. I continue to ask God to reveal new and different things to me as I read. But, again, some passages are just very familiar and you feel like you've talked about them before. And so you just, it's just, that's okay. We love each other, don't we? So anyway, be encouraged by that. If that's what you're going through, it won't last forever. Continue to persevere, continue to push on through. You'll be fine. Love you. We'll talk to you next week. Promise. Bye-bye.